Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Good to be here.
Today we're unpacking a piece of gear that promises some mighty hauling power, but on a real shoestring budget. And, well, it comes with a fascinating set of quirks, let's say.
That's putting it mildly, perhaps.
We're sifting through a detailed review of the VEVO Bike trailer, specifically digging into the insights from the Savage Reviews YouTube channel.
Yeah, trying to see if it's genuinely a budget beast.
Or, it may be more accurately described as functional chaos.
Exactly. It's an intriguing case study.
So our mission is really to arm you with the full picture here.
Help you decide if its unique personality aligns with what you actually need for hauling.
Okay, let's just jump right in then. Imagine hitching a trailer to your bicycle.
Right.
That boasts an incredible capacity. We're talking up to 275 pounds.
That's substantial, not just a grocery run.
No way. That's like, I don't know, towing a small fridge behind your bike.
Huh. Yeah, the review even says the bicycle is aspiring to be a pickup truck.
Which really sets the tone, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
And seriously, 275 pounds capacity is just astounding for a bike trailer.
It really is.
The review mentions VTOR actually makes 17 different versions, ranging from maybe 70 pounds,
Which is still decent.
all the way up to this 275-pound behemoth model.
And the price for that top capacity?
Just $150.
Okay, see, that's the kicker. $150 for that kind of payload.
Right. That price, combined with that hauling capacity, it just makes a huge statement in the market.
It really does. It immediately flags this trailer as a significant outlier, because that level of utility, you'd normally expect to pay a lot more.
Absolutely. It kind of redefines what budget hauling could even mean.
It pushes the boundaries of what consumers might think is possible for that amount of money. Sets a high bar for budget shoppers,
Yeah, definitely raises expectations. You hear those numbers, see that price, and you start thinking.
I can haul everything short of furniture.
Exactly. Those massive Costco trips, camping gear for the whole family.
Maybe even small moves across town, all behind your bike.
It sounds almost too good to be true in some ways. So how do they do it? How does VEVR hit that capacity and that really aggressive price?
Well, let's look at the construction. The review mentions a carbon steel frame.
Which sounds pretty sturdy, maybe even a bit fancy.
It does sound good, but the review quickly clarifies it's more like marketing for regular steel that won't rust immediately.
Ah, okay. So functional, but maybe not premium.
Precisely. And that detail gives you insight into the brand's philosophy, doesn't it? Maximum utility, minimum cost.
Right.
They use marketing terms that suggest premium, even if the material is just, good enough for the job, fit for purpose.
It's a strategic trade-off. You get a solid backbone for hauling.
But not a luxury chassis. And that's absolutely key to hitting that $150 price point.
That makes total sense. Prioritizing function over fancy material labels. But here's where the design gets really interesting, I think. The wheels.
Ah, yes, the wheels.
This trailer uses 20-inch wheels. And the reviewer specifically calls this out as smart.
And they're right to do so.
They explain bigger wheels roll smoother, which is obviously crucial when you're hauling heavy stuff, like those Costco runs or camping gear.
Absolutely critical. Budget trailers often skimp here.
Yeah, apparently they often use tiny little wheels that make even small pavement cracks feel like major obstacles, like disasters, the review said.
And from an engineering standpoint, 20 inches is a really shrewd choice for a budget trailer.
How so?
Well, smaller wheels spin faster, right? More vibration, more rolling resistance, especially on bumpy ground.
Okay, yeah.
20-inch wheels are kind of a sweet spot. Much smoother ride, better stability with heavy loads compared to those tiny ones.
But without the cost or bulk of, say, full-size bike wheels.
Exactly. It translates directly into less effort for you, the rider, and a much more controlled tow, especially when you're pushing that weight limit.
So a genuinely thoughtful design choice that actually boosts performance.
A very practical one, yes, especially for the price.
Okay, now, let's get into the real character of this thing, because budget gear often requires a bit of personality adjustment, shall we say.
That's a good way to put it. There's usually a catch somewhere.
Let's talk assembly. Getting it ready to roll. The review flags some real challenges here.
Oh, yes.
Like the universal hitch. Apparently has alignment issues during assembly.
Which can be incredibly frustrating.
And the instructions. Oh boy. One person said they need telepathy.
Not ideal.
Another said it requires lots of intuition, which the reviewer jokingly translates as they forgot directions.
Sounds about right for some budget gear instructions. It raises that classic question, doesn't it? What's the hidden cost of the low price?
Your time. Your sanity.
Pretty much. It's often in that initial setup. Poor instructions, parts that don't quite align. It demands a certain DIY skill or at least a lot of patience.
So you're essentially trading your time and maybe some head scratching.
Your personal ingenuity, really, for saving money up front.
Okay, but it gets better. Or worse, depending on your perspective.
Right.
Once assembled.
Let me guess. Noise.
Bingo. Known for aggressive rattling.
Ah, the soundtrack of budget hauling.
Seriously, the descriptions are vivid. A skeleton doing jumping jacks.
I remember that one. Or sounds haunted.
Exactly. Leading users to apparently get creative, they stuff foam everywhere and tape joints to stop noise.
Which is fascinating in itself, right? That active problem solving. People become trailer surgeons.
Yeah, they're modifying it themselves.
It shows a real desire to make the product work, despite the initial flaws, despite the racket it makes.
So the core function must be valuable enough for them to bother.
I think so. It reinforces that the basic utility hauling heavy stuff cheaply is compelling enough to overcome this functional chaos. It's like they're willing to invest their own effort to realize the value.
It reminds me of people tweaking early computers or cars to get them just right.
That's a great analogy. You're kind of co-creating the final usable product.
So, okay, if we look past the telepathy needed for assembly and the potentially haunted rattling.
Which is asking a lot.
Huh? True. What actually makes this VEVOR trailer work for people? Because the plot twist seems to be, despite all the complaints, they do use them, and successfully.
Yeah, that's the core paradox we mentioned. The experience sounds problematic on paper.
Right.
Yet the fundamental utility consistently shines through. I think it boils down to a couple of things.
Okay.
First, that sheer capacity at that price point. For many users, that's the absolute bottom line. It solves a heavy-duty hauling problem that few other budget options really tackle effectively.
So it fills a specific niche.
A very specific high-demand niche. And second, the underlying construction. That regular steel frame, it seems genuinely robust where it counts for the structure.
So it doesn't, like, fall apart under load.
Apparently not. The frame holds up. So while the superficial things, the instructions, the noise are annoying, the core function isn't actually compromised.
It gets the job done. Reliably, even if noisily.
Exactly. And that's a powerful combination in a market that often lacks true budget workhorses. That robustness is clearly key.
Yet people report loading it up with groceries, camping gear, all sorts of heavy stuff without failures. That speaks volumes.
It really does build confidence in the core product despite the initial hurdles.
And here's another practical perk that adds to its overall usefulness.
Oh.
When you're not hauling the kitchen sink, it has a foldable design.
Ah, storage. Always important.
Yeah. The review says it rocks for storage and collapses down to apartment size.
Which is incredibly useful, especially for urban dwellers or anyone with limited garage space.
Totally. That adds significant practical value, right? It integrates into your life better when it's not in use.
Absolutely. It shows they thought not just about the hauling part, but the owning and storing part too. It delivers on the main promise, moving heavy stuff, and then adds this convenience factor.
Even if it requires those personality adjustments along the way.
Even then, it offers a tangible solution to the storage problem, which is often overlooked in trailer design, especially budget ones.
Okay, so let's tie this all together. What does this really mean for you, the listener, when you're weighing your options for gear?
What's the takeaway?
The review sums it up pretty well. Classic VEVOR. Decent performance with quirks.
Sounds fair.
They make a point of saying comparable trailers, ones designed for similar heavy hauling, often cost twice as much.
Yeah, easily double.
Their conclusion is basically, you pay for names and service with the more expensive brands.
Right, the seamless experience.
But with this VEVOR, they suggest the core functionality is similar.
And this really highlights that fundamental consumer choice we all face sometimes.
Pay more for perfect or pay less.
Exactly.
Okay.
Are you willing to pay a premium for that smooth, frustration-free experience right out of the box, perfect instructions, quiet operation? Or are you willing to invest some of your own time, your own ingenuity, maybe a bit of foam padding?
Yes.
To get comparable core functionality, that heavy hauling ability, at a significantly lower price?
This VEVOR trailer is squarely aimed at that second group.
Absolutely. It presents itself quite clearly as useful cargo hauling for half price.
Yeah.
It challenges the idea that capacity and quality must come at a high premium.
It forces you to weigh the value of your own time and effort against the money saved.
A very direct value proposition.
So the final verdict from our deep dive into the savage reviews on the VEVOR bike trailer.
Let's hear it.
It's pretty much a masterclass in functional chaos. You'll likely spend an hour, maybe more, putting it together.
Possibly questioning some life choices during that hour?
Huh, probably. And then you'll almost certainly be adding some foam or tape to quiet it down.
Your initiation as a trailer surgeon.
Right. But once you've done all that, you do end up with incredibly useful high-capacity cargo hauling for roughly half the price of its competitors.
So the bottom line recommendation.
Buy it if you need serious budget capacity and genuinely don't mind rolling up your sleeves for some DIY fixes and noise management. But definitely skip it if you want or expect perfect silent performance straight out of the box. It's just not that product.
That seems like a very fair assessment. And it brings us to a final thought, something for you to perhaps mull over.
Yeah.
The review wraps up saying, sometimes gear needs personality adjustment. What does that truly mean when a piece of equipment requires you, the user, to adapt to it, to intervene, to give it that adjustment? Interesting question.
Does that process foster a deeper connection? Maybe a sense of ownership, like, I made this work, a kind of quiet pride?
Or does it just highlight the compromises we inevitably make when affordability is the absolute top priority?
Exactly. It's a fascinating reflection on our relationship with the stuff we buy, especially in this era of budget alternatives. How does our willingness to engage with that functional chaos shape how we ultimately perceive its value?
That is definitely food for thought. What are you willing to adjust?
Something to consider.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring.